My family has lived in this house since I was in 4th grade. For years, it was just an ordinary home, until that fateful night with the Ouija board. I was in 6th grade when my younger sister and I decided to try it. At first, it felt silly, almost harmless. "Who are you?" I asked, placing my fingers lightly on the planchette. The board responded with a single word: Margaret. A chill ran down my spine. My sister swore she wasn't moving it, and I knew I wasn't either. We pressed on. "What do you want?" I asked. The planchette hesitated, then slid decisively. My sister and my best friend. That was enough. We froze, staring at each other in silence before shoving the board away. From that moment, the house felt different. Months passed without incident. Life returned to normal until the night my friend Van came over. It was his 7th time visiting, and nothing unusual had ever happened before. That evening, my parents were out, and most of my siblings were off doing their own things. Only Katie, the sister who'd played the Ouija board with me, was home. The 3 of us were lounging on the couch, chatting idly, when a sudden bang shattered the calm. The sound came from upstairs. Van, always a bit jumpy, practically leapt out of his seat. "What was that?" he whispered, his face pale. "I don't know," I replied. "Katie, come with me to check." Katie, braver than most, nodded. "All right, Declan, let's go." We climbed the stairs together, our hands gripping tightly. But before we could reach the top, a sharp pain shot through my arm. "Ow!" I cried, only to hear Katie gasp in unison. Glancing at her, I realized she had the same fresh cut on her arm as I did. Then we saw her. At the top of the stairs stood a girl, about 10 years old, staring down at us. Her eyes, no, her eye sockets, were empty, as if they'd been violently removed. Blood seemed to streak from them. "Margaret," I managed to ask, my voice trembling. She shook her head slowly. We screamed and bolted down the stairs, nearly tripping over each other in our rush to escape. When we told Van what we'd seen, his face crumpled. "Stop it. You're scaring me," he wailed. He never set foot in my house again. My sister Megan was plagued by strange dreams. She often described visions of someone strangling her or nights spent on the bottom bunk in my room, hearing relentless banging from the mattress above. Her stories unnerved me, but nothing prepared me for what I saw one quiet night. Megan was out with her friends, and I was home alone. Heading to the bathroom, I noticed her bedroom door ajar. Her dim desk lamp cast eerie shadows, and I could see her mirror reflecting in the window. Feeling bold or foolish, I called out, "Margaret, is that you?" The mirror answered me. A face appeared, older this time, maybe 16 years old. It wasn't the eyeless girl. It was someone else. "Margaret." She smiled warmly, and then 2 more faces joined hers. The eyeless girl and a boy wearing a dinosaur hat. My little brother had once mentioned seeing a boy in a dinosaur hat. Somehow, I knew instinctively that this was Margaret's sister and her best friend. They looked happy together again. Determined to uncover the truth, I dug into the history of our home. What I found chilled me to the bone. Margaret Haylord, Lisa Haylord, the girl without eyes, Alex Kresh, the boy in the dinosaur hat, all murdered in the house by the same person. Alexia Haylord, Margaret and Lisa's mother. Drunk and enraged, she killed her daughters, their friend, and then herself. To this day, when I see a shadow move or feel the air grow unnaturally cold, I remind myself, never engage. I've learned the hard way that some spirits are best left undisturbed.